Alrighty, so for our second topic today, we're going to graph parabolas of the form y is equal to x minus h quantity squared plus k. So in this section, we don't have to worry about a being anything other than 1. So for everything, so in this case, this section, a is equal to 1, right? But you guys should still know how to graph a function when a is not equal to 1. Right, so let's look at the example 1, right? Example 1, we want to graph y is equal to x minus 1 quantity squared plus 2, right? Right. So I taught you guys the way 1 for the first section, and I've said it multiple times throughout the semester, is that when you want to, if you want to find the value, you can always just plug it in, right? So you can always plug in -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and you'll spit out a y, and then you can graph it. However, since I know you guys can do that, right? So just plug in numbers. I'm going to do the way 2 again, right? But this time, maybe it'll be a little easier because for me to explain, since a is 1. So what am I going to do? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to establish what is our vertex. So what is HK? HK, remember, so our form, so y is equal to f of x, it doesn't matter, right? It's the same thing. This is x minus h quantity squared plus k. Okay, so even though there's a minus here, this is the general form. So what does that mean? That means since there's a minus here, this is just h. Okay, so h is 1 and k is positive 2. Right, because there's a plus k right here. So we know that this is the vertex. So this is the very first point that we can plot. So go over 1 and up 2. Right? So 1 point down, and in our directions it even says graph the parabola by plotting the vertex and 4 additional points, 2 on each side of the vertex. So technically I did not do good here. Okay. What you're essentially supposed to do in this way is you find the vertex first, so you have 1 on this side. So then you have to pick 2 values to the left of 1 and to the right of 1. So to the left of 1 is 0 and -1, and to the right is 2 and 3. Right? Right? So that's what you have to do with way 1. So way 1, way 2, no matter what, you always have to find the vertex first. Okay? So find vertex first. Okay, it was misleading for when y is equal to ax squared plus k, because our vertex, when it looks like this, is always going to be 0k. Okay, so when our function looks like y equals ax squared plus k, we know that x is always 0, so therefore you can always use -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Right? So it was my mistake to tell you guys to always pick these. That's not true. You have to find the vertex first and then find 2 values to the left of it and to the right of it. Right? But still, same process. You're still going to plug in your value, or you're still going to plug in x into your function, and then you're going to get a value out of it. So me continuing on with the second way, and then we can use this first way to check our work when we're done graphing. So we first need our parent function. So what is our parent function? It is the values of this. So -2, 4, -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4. 2, 4. Right? So what does that mean? So HK, so we know that the vertex is 1, 1, 2, but what do we know about H? since h is 1, what does that mean? We're going to do a horizontal shift to the right 1. And k, since k is 2, we are going to shift up 2. So for every point in the parent function, I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Or you can go over 1 up 2. It does not matter what you do, right? As long as you get there. So we can start with the vertex, and I'll show you our parent vertex, and I'll show you that this vertex is correct because we're going to go to the right 1 and up 2. So we do end up at 1, 2. Okay? And then we can just go to the left. So we can just do 1, 1. So if I have 1, 1, I'm going to go up 2 and over 1. So my second point is 2, 3. And then for 2, 4, I'm going to start at 2, 4, and I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2, and over 1. Okay? And then since you know that about the axis of symmetry, we know that it's going to look like this. Right? If you want proof, so negative 2, 4, I can go up 2 over 1 and see we have a point right here. And then also with negative 1, 1, I can go up 2 over 1. And as you can see, this is the same point. Right? So now we're going to graph, and I'm going to get my big colors again. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad. Ooh. Good enough. It's fine. All right. So it still looks like a parabola. All right. And then to check our work, so a is equal to 1, which is greater than 0, so we know that's going to point up like a cup. So this is correct. How do we know it's correct? Now to check our work, if we're new to this process, you always want to check your work to see if you're doing it right. Right? So wherever I see an x, I'm going to plug in negative 1. So negative 1 minus 1, that is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. So if I look at negative 1 and I go up 6, as you can see this black dot, I know it got covered with the purple, but as you can see we did have a point there. So that was correct. At 0, I get negative 1 squared, so 1, and this is 3. And if I look at 0, 3, as you can see there is a point there. So we did good on that one. When we plug in 1, we get 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. And then over here, 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. And then 6. And as you can see, we have 2 and 3, and then 4 and 6. Right? So this is our final graph. Right? So you actually don't have to circle it, not even on the test, okay? Because it'll be very clear what your final graph is, because normally I'll say final. Right? So this is how you graph a parabola of this form. So now let's do one more example. Let's see if I can go down. So example 2. So actually, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to erase this so I can keep this graph. Alrighty. So now let's do example 2. Example 2, I'm still going to do the second way, and then we can check our work using the first way. So what am I going to do? We are first going to find the vertex. So we want to find what HK is. So recall, what is the general form of our parabola or of our quadratic? It is a times the quantity x minus h, quantity squared, plus k. So if I rewrite this, so let me erase this first. Let's rewrite this to look like this. So this is exactly the same as saying y is equal to x minus negative 4, quantity squared, plus negative 3. When I solve this, so minus minus, that becomes a plus, and then plus a minus, that is minus. Okay, so these two are equivalent. So now that it looks like the form of this, now we can easily tell what is h. H h is -4, k is -3. So what does that mean? That means since h is -4, it's going to go to the left 4 units. K is going to go down, so h we said was -3. Since it's -3, we're going to go down 3 units. Okay. And what is our vertex? Our vertex is HK. HK, so this is our vertex. So our HK is -4, -3. So this is our vertex. Right? So now what do we do? So if I'm going to graph this based on our parent function, I need to write what are my points for the parent function. So I will start with -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Wait, hold on. Sorry, that is wrong. You want to first start at, so you have -4 in the middle, and we have to pick 2 values to the left. Wait. Oh my gosh, guys. It has been such a long day. My mind is just scrambled. I apologize. This this is a parent function, okay? Parent coordinates. Okay? So, yes, I will be using -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. One thing I want to say, you can also do 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, but it's just more customary to go from left to right. But it doesn't matter as long as you plot the points correctly, right? And so we know the parent function that they have these values, right? So now what am I going to do with these values? I am now going to shift them to get the following graph. So I will first start with -2, 4. So I'm going to go to 2, 4, and I'm going to go to the right 4, or sorry, not to the right, geez, to the left 4, and then down 3. So this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. Had to check my work because, counting's hard. So now let's go -1, 1. So I'm going to go to the left 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 3. 1, 2, 3. This is our second point. And then 0, 0. Again, I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 3. 1, 2. Wait. Oh my gosh. Okay. I do not know what is going on. Sorry. Okay. So let's try this again. We're at 0, 0. We are going to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So let's do this again. So at 1, 1, we're going to go to the right or to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 3. 1, 2, 3. And then for 2, 4, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and then 1, 2, 3 down. Okay. And then as you can see that this is symmetric. Like if I cut along this middle, this half would look exactly as the same as the right half. Okay. So now let's graph this. Maybe I'll do red this time. So let's try. All right. And this is our graph. Okay. One last thing that we can check. So probably should check it in the beginning. It's fine. We still want to look at A, but in this case, A is 1, which is greater than 0. So our graph is pointing up like a cup. So one thing that I'm going to do, so now we have to check our work. So you can always check your work mentally, that's fine. But I'm going to write it out. I'm going to write it out as if we were doing the first way, so you guys can also see that. So all of this right here is the same exact steps. Okay, so I still want to establish the vertex. So our vertex is -4, 3. So what am I going to do with this information? We know that this is, since it's going to go up like a cup, this is our minimum value. Okay, so this is going to be our smallest value, and then the other, so we have to pick values to the left, 2 values to the left of it and 2 values to the right of it to see what our parabola will look like. So when I do x and then f of x, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I usually go in the middle, or try to go to the middle, and I'm going to write down -4, 3. And when I look at this -4, I am now going to pick 2 values that are smaller than -4 and 2 values that are bigger than -4. So I will get -6, -5, and this is -3 and -2. Right? So if I compute this, I'm gonna do -2. So if I plug in -2 into this one, -2 plus 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. -3 plus 4 is 1. 1 squared is 2. Or, oh my gosh, 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 3 is -2. And if we check our work, we see, so our vertex is -4, -3. And then, I think it was a little too thick, but that's fine. We're going to look at -3, -2. And as you can see, there's like a little brown dot right here. And so from symmetry, we know that there's also a dot right here, or a point right here. And then I'm going to look at -2, 1, and then you can see that little black dot right there. So we know that we have also graphed that point right there. And then because of the symmetry, I know this is also -2 and 1, or it should be. Okay, so one also good indicator is if your graph looked like, I don't know, like this, or like this. You know, if it's not clearly symmetrical, like even when you plot your points, they don't look symmetrical, because I understand graphing's hard, so it might not look symmetrical when you graph it. But when you plot the points pre-hand, they should look symmetrical. If they don't look symmetrical, something went wrong, so we're going to have to check our work. All right? So, and this should be a -1, not a +1. All right, so remember way 1, we can first, either way 1, way 2, you always want to find your vertex first. All right, so you cannot forget this form, so you remember what H and K are. Okay, and then the ways separate. Way 1 is just when you find your vertex, you get that value of x and pick 2 numbers smaller than it and 2 numbers bigger than it, and then you just plug in the points to find your f of x. The second way is using your parent function, so using the parent coordinates, which are to the left right here, and then you're going to use the shifting method. So note, so if when h is negative, it goes left. When h is positive, it goes to the right. When k is negative, it goes down. When k is positive, it goes up. Right? So you guys can use either method. That's perfect. As long as you get the graph by yourself, like computing it in your own head without a calculator, it's fine. Right? So this is what we are covering today. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.